So I am going to start a little series I call Unpopular Facts, not even unpopular opinions, because today I am here to break it to everybody that anybody who calls themselves an empath is not picking up on anything extrasensory, psychic, intuitive whatsoever. They are using our bazillions of years of evolution to mentally process something that we just don't intellectually understand we are processing. First of all, welcome back to another video. I'm Ann Blackwood, your Silicon Valley Sage Sister, here to bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. So, first I want to show you this video from Teal Swan, because I saw this and was like, oh my gosh, I've been saying this for years, just like I've been saying for years that a narcissist isn't just somebody who pisses you off. Narcissism has a definition, and so does empath.
Most empaths are not people who are set on this earth with this incredible spiritual ability and they're just born that way. Most empaths, in fact, even though they may have that natural skill or potential, are people who grew up in homes specifically with adult figures who are either unpredictable or unsafe. The quality of being an empath is actually a protecting mechanism.
So I looked up the definition of empathy and I'm going to read it to you. The ability to understand and share the feelings of another is the definition of empathy. And unless you're a sociopath or some sort of psychopath, we all have the ability to experience, share empathy. Naturally, when we meet somebody, within fractions of seconds, we categorize people as either a friend, a foe, a potential sexual partner, or indifferent. And actually, we these days are more trained, because we are around more people, to analyze people within that brief fraction of a second that we see them as indifferent. That is why in the spiritual community especially, this empath thing has become so popular, because more and more every day, our brains are learning to categorize people not as friend or foe, but as just indifferent, especially people in cities. So we have to take this into consideration, because that's the only reason why it seems special to people. Again, it's not something extrasensory. What people are experiencing when they think they're experiencing intuition or extrasensory perception when it comes to being an empath is actually just behavioral science. They've learned to, more so than others, pick up on body language, facial expressions, emotions in sounds like someone's speech. All of these things, just with our five senses, scientifically, we can absolutely sense things about situations, people's feelings, emotions, potential next actions, without having to be in any way intuitive or psychic or sensing anything extrasensory. It's observations with the eyes, the ears, and the brain sorting things out that you don't cognitively on an intellectual level understand. It's something that your unconscious brain or your subconscious brain is sorting out for you, even though you don't intellectually understand it. But there are lots of people who do intellectually understand it and even teach it. So I felt like this was a good thing to bring up, since I've been talking about the difference between human constructs, intuition, and 3D reality, hard, cold facts. Because at the end of the day, your average empath is not anything more than your average human being using their evolutionary instincts and brain processing to pick up on something that anybody could be trained to do. Why is it that every time I start this video, something starts happening out there? And this is the second time I've tried to film this video. Gardeners started after the first time. So, as I was saying, even Teal Swan points out in this video that I was showing you guys in the beginning that your average empath ends up gravitating towards the negative situations rather than the positive because they developed this ability from experiencing perceived threats in their lives. And we can do this empath thing, this empathy thing, with not just bad emotions, but good, happy emotions. So at the end of the day, not only can we develop these abilities to be empathetic towards people naturally throughout our lives for many different reasons, but we can actually be trained in it. That's what body language, behavioral specialties are all about. Teaching us what we're observing that we don't realize we're observing with our eyes, ears, senses, in a very scientific way, naturally. I don't think I've ever met someone who was an empath that was picking up on anything extrasensory. Ever. That's just not something that is a psychic ability. It's something that we do naturally from the bazillion years of evolution that we have on this planet as beings to sense the things around us to let us know, are we safe? Are we not safe? Is this person a viable partner? Or should we just be indifferent? And our actual knee-jerk reaction, our actual most common instinctual response is to be indifferent to people. So it's not even like our most common instinct is friend or foe. It's actually indifference, especially these days when we have so many people around us all the time, especially people who live in cities. We learn to be indifferent towards people more than we learn to be anything else. That's why this idea of empath is so attractive to people, because through evolution we've learned not to be hyper empathic. We've learned not to be hypersensitive to those around us, because imagine what that would be like if you were. But that doesn't make being an empath extrasensory or intuitive or psychic in any way, shape, or form. That just means that for whatever reason, whatever you've experienced in your life, you have become more sensitive than the average person who's learned to be mostly indifferent. You've learned to be sensitive to the things around you because most likely you've had perceived threats or you've had training in body language and behavior. So there you are, folks. Empaths, they're not psychic. They're not picking up on anything intuitive or extrasensory. I would say the closest thing they are gut instincts. If you're not trained in being able to identify what you're seeing or picked up on. But it is, at the end of the day, something very scientific, something very 3D, something very cold, hard fact when it comes to being empathic. I know there are people who aren't going to want to hear this. I know that there are people who are going to be like, well, what about me picking up on the energy of the whole world? Well, are you really, or did you just hear about something sad in the news that's going on and you're sensitive to that? Because even that is going to link back to whatever perceived threat you had in your life and you deciding somewhere subconsciously to be extra sensitive towards people that you relate to. Thank you guys for joining me for another video. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description. That includes working with me one-on-one. That includes my Patreon, where you can get all my journal exercises, guided meditations, workshop replays, my intuitive lifestyle course, my spirituality 101 and 2.0 series, which right now we are going even deeper into the 365 A Course in Miracles student handbook lessons. We're on, I just put up lesson 18, and we're about to get into 19. And these are some great exercises when it comes to actually developing a spiritual mindset. I've also got links in the description like doTERRA, which is your one-stop shop for getting rid of all of those synthetic chemicals in your life and living naturally with the best products on the market when it comes to plant-based products, natural living products. And they've got so many amazing things. They are all about the essential oils that they source, and they make amazing products with those essential oils, as well as bring the essential oils directly to you. So a great example of this is today I have my oil treatment in my hair because I do this root to tip serum that doTERRA has prior to my shower for about an hour in my hair and massaged into my scalp before I take my shower, and then I put it in my hair as well after I take a shower, depending on how I'm feeling. I've also been getting this into my significant other's hair because he loves it. It's been helping him with his dandruff, and he just loves the way his hair feels when I massage it into his scalp about an hour before he takes a shower. They have all sorts of other amazing products available. So if you would like a doTERRA wellness call, I do them for free for the first one, and we can help you get set up. Or if you're one of those people who just likes to explore things yourselves, I have the link directly to doTERRA in the description. Bunch of other links in the description, like the doTERRA Witches group I'm a part of, and my email list if you would like to get in on any of the free workshops and guided meditations that I do. Got to be signed up for my email list. And as always, guys, may the energies you serve you well, and let's keep making our way through.